Hi, I'm John, owner of the Bierstein Shop, along with my wife Sue. Since we've had the Bierstein Shop, I've noticed on a lot of movies, TV programs, especially soap operas, if you look in the background at the mantels over the fireplace, maybe some shelves behind the bars, you may notice a Bierstein sitting on them. They're used a lot in shows for decor items. Now, if you have a decor item, you want it to be the best. You want it to be an authentic German Bierstein if you're going to collect those. How do you tell if you got an authentic German Bierstein? If you ever looked on the internet, you've seen some signs that are really selling cheap, less than $80 for a half-liter Stein. Generally they're cheap because they're probably made in China. They're not authentic German. If it's a Zoller & Born, a King Works, or a Thewald 1893, it's going to be authentic. Thewald was started to be quit manufacturing in the fall of 2009, and in January of 2011, King Works had worked a deal with Albert Thewald, and they produced a line of the Thewald Steins that they call Thewald 1893. So basically you've got three brands that you can be sure of that are authentic: Zoller & Born, King Works, and Thewald 1893. Now, there's a lot of articles on the internet that'll tell you what to look for. Most of them will start off telling you to look at the bottom of the Stein to see if it's made in Germany. In Germany, back in 1887, Germans came out with the Merchandise Marks Acts of 1887, which basically dealt with items made for export, which included Biersteins. It said if they were made for export, they had to be identified as being made in Germany on them somewhere. And here, well, this is a King Works Stein. They got a little stamp right there, and it's underneath a layer of glaze that said it was made in Germany. Zoller & Born pretty much has the same thing, except theirs is etched in. Thewald is etched into the ceramics before they were fired. Okay, now if they don't have this mark on them, can it still be real German? Yes. There's a lot of Bierstein manufacturers not too long ago that made Biersteins, but most of them did not try and make Steins for the export market like Zoller & Born and King Works and Thewald. They made their Steins to sell within Germany, so there was no requirement for them to have the Made in Germany marking. Now you may see some back here in the States where maybe somebody's selling one on eBay, or maybe you go to a garage sale and see a Stein, and it may not say Made in Germany because some tourists could have gone to Germany and brought one back with them. Or maybe someone based in the military brought one back with them, and it wasn't there was a lot of Stein companies, and they are authentic German that just don't say made in Germany on them. Okay, next thing they'll tell you on these ads is look at the lid, and it's going to be a decorated lid. Most of them are domed lids, kind of like this. They may have some horses pulling beer wagons on them, some Edelweiss, rings of different things associated with Germany. Usually will not see just a plain lid. They'll talk about the lid, different colors, that the outside will darken before the inside due to oxidation. It takes a long time, really, of having one of these Steins out in the air to really where you can tell a difference. And it doesn't really tell you whether the Stein's made in Germany or not anyway, because if it's got a pewter lid, it's going to oxidize no matter what kind of Stein it is. The next thing they'll tell you, and this is where a lot of them go wrong, is they'll tell you to look inside the stein and you'll see what they call a lithophane image in it. Well, that's not true completely. That lithophane image is only in the bottom of a porcelain stein. It is not in the earthenware or the stoneware steins. The lithophane depends on a light source to produce the image. And the porcelain steins are made of a finer ceramic. They're made in a thinner so that light will penetrate the bottom, so when you're holding the stein up and looking inside of it, the light's shining through the background of the lithophane image and exposing it. And those are only going to be found in porcelain steins. Now, one article I read even tells you that it's painted in the bottom of the stein with a long paintbrush. Well, just look up the definition of the lithophane image and you'll see that that's wrong. Nobody paints it in there. It's made on a very thin porcelain disc, and it's attached to the base of the stein before it's fired. Then the cylinder of the stein is placed on the base over that image, and then it's fired the first time, which makes the cylinder of the stein and the base all one piece. Okay, next thing you can look at is the painting on it. A highly relief stein, you've got the ladies that are sitting there painting these steins all day, and they may have 7 or 8 colors to put on a stein. They'll start with these steins on one table to their right, paint one color and move them to the left. And when they get done with that color, they'll start with the next color, move them back over until they got all their colors done. Well, they're painting with these paint brushes, and if you look in some of the reliefs on a stein, you may see some little white spots, or maybe some spots where they've overlapped another color. That's going to happen. Generally, looking at the stein, unless you're looking really close, you're not going to even see it, because it looks almost like it's meant to be that way. So that's actually a good thing. You do know it was hand painted by people instead of a machine. Now, I hope I haven't confused you too much with what I just told you. I want to re-emphasize, if it's a new stein, it's going to either be Zellweger-Born or King Works, or it's going to be Thewalt 1893 that's made by King Works. It's going to be one of those three if it's a new stein. If it's an older stein, there's a lot of variables. Like I said, it might not necessarily be stamped with made in Germany, but that doesn't mean it's not made in Germany. I would recommend, if you have an old stein and you really want to know if it's real German, there's a website you can look at. Matter of fact, you can go to my website on the home page on the left side, and I have a link to an organization called Stein Collectors International. If you click on that link, it'll take you to their website. They have a forum on there where you can ask about your stein. Describe it to them, attach some pictures so they can see the pictures, and then maybe they can answer the question for you. Anyway, have fun collecting your steins and keep them real German. And thank you.